Okay, now we're going to take a look at some more problems on the Chapter 2 review answer key, and we're going to start with number 9. And so in here we have an if-else structure. So notice we have if here, and then if we go along in the same indentation we have an else. So this is the outer if-else structure. And so we look at the if first, and the if says is 87 greater than or equal to 25, and which it is. Therefore the if clause, which is right here from here to here, alright, this whole thing right here is the if clause, is going to be executed, and the else is going to be ignored. So if we cut it off now, we won't hit it accidentally later. So this is a good practice, is to cross out what's going to be ignored. So we jump into this if clause, and we notice then that we have an if structure, and we have a print statement, and then we have another if structure, only this case it's an if-else structure. So we have to engage each if structure, and so as we look at this, then we go to the if structure and go, okay, is 25 divided by 25 equal to 1? Well, yes it is, and so we're going to jump in here and into the if clause, which is only one statement long, and we're going to print apple. And so there we are. And then we come to the next line of code, which is a print statement, which has nothing to do with any of the if clauses or if statements, so it doesn't have anything to do with the Boolean expressions. So we're going to just print orange because it's just a regular statement. Now we're going to engage the if-else. There's two alternatives. There's the if and there's the else. We're only going to do one of them, as always. And so we look at this and we go, is 100 minus 87, which is 13, is it greater than 12 plus 2, which is 14? So since 13 is not greater than 14, then we're going to skip the else or the if clause and do the else clause. The else clause says to print banana and kiwi. So now we're done with the if clause right here, and we already canceled out the else clause. And so now after this outer if-else structure, we still have one more statement in the program, and that is to print coconut. So there we go. I don't know how that changed. All right? All right, so now let's take a look at number 10. So number 10 says that, okay, if we look at this again, we're dealing with an if clause or an if-else structure, because these are all on the outside. And the if structure has an if clause, which goes from here to here, and an else clause, which goes from here to here. And so we look at the if first, and we go, is 12 times 2 greater than or equal to 25? Well, 24 is not greater than or equal to 25. So therefore, this entire if clause is ignored. And so now we go to the else. And in the else, we have a nested if-else statement. And so we're going to engage the if statement inside here, this nested if, and we're going to go, is 25 times 2 equal to 25 plus 10? Well, that's 50. Is it equal to 35? Well, it is not. So now we're going to ignore the if clause and do the else clause, which is to print lime. And then we're done now with the whole entire if-else structure, the outer if-else, and then the next line of code, which has nothing to do with any Boolean expressions, is say us to print coconut, so we're going to print coconut. Alright, so now we're going to check out 12. Well, 12 says is, well, we have a compound Boolean expression here, so 87, so we have not equal to, we have an and, so we're going to examine this Boolean expression and this Boolean expression. So is num3, which is 87, is it not equal to 25? Well, that's true. And is max less than 50? Well, that is true as well. So since this is true and true, the entire compound Boolean expression is true. Therefore, we are going to actually do then what's inside the if clause, and that is to print apple. Okay, and then this print statement is not in the if structure, so we're going to print and execute that, and so it's going to be orange.